I'm your silicone girl. I was made to be with you. I'm your silicone girl. There's nothing I would never do. I'm your silicone girl. Anything that
Hi guys, so today I'm going to show you how to not look like a bum. So I already put in contacts because they make my makeup look better, and also I'm blind, but we're going to start off with sunscreen because you don't want to get wrinkly bad skin in the future, and this is what I basically use for my primer. And once you rub that all in, I then start color correcting the rest of my face. I recently got this Judy Doll palette, so I'm going to be color correcting my under eyes and kind of the dark spots on my face because I used to have a lot of acne. I noticed that this makes the concealer that I put over a little less cakey, especially because I put my cushion foundation over this. So here you can see I am going under my dark eyes or my eye bags, and I'm just going to be using the rest on my eyelids, and I'm going to start spot concealing as well. So after spot concealing, I actually take this lighter color and I put it right under my eye bags, I guess, to brighten up this area so it makes my face look a little less sunken in. Now once that's done, I just take the remaining concealer and I put it under my eyebrows to kind of carve out my eyebrows before I start drawing them in. Then I set my face with this fixing spray because I noticed that it makes my base a lot smoother. So after concealer, I set it and then I can put foundation over it. The cushion I'll be using today is the Jung Semul cushion in the shade medium. I've rebought this maybe 4 or 5 times. It's the only cushion that doesn't dry too glowy on me, but it's also not super matte. As someone with kind of combination skin, I found that this is the perfect cushion for me. I swear this makes my skin look so good, and it doesn't look cakey at all even after multiple hours, so I really would recommend it. Now I'm going to take this contour pencil and I'm going to be contouring the sides of my face just because I think the center of my face is a bit round, so I like to add dimension to the sides of my face to kind of sculpt it a little bit. I can't really explain the shapes that I'm drawing here. All I know is I saw it on some tutorial once and I kind of have done it the same way since. Now for the nose contour, I kind of just draw 2 lines straight down on my nose to kind of make it a little smaller. I don't really know how to explain this just because I don't think I'm the best at nose contour, but I also take it down on the bottom and top of my lip to give myself a bit of a fuller lip. After that, I just make sure to blend it all downwards because that's where I want the shadows to show. I also start patting it in with a more dense brush so that it doesn't pull away from my makeup too much and kind of just pats on top of it. As you can see, the contour doesn't make too much of a difference, but it does add dimension onto my face. I do not know what I'm doing here. Anyways, now it's time to conceal. I'm going to be using the Haus Labs concealer in the shade 05 to kind of brighten up my face. I go in on my forehead, under my eyes, I go around my nose and my lips as well to kind of brighten my face at the very center. Once the concealer is put down, I then set it again with some more fixing spray because I do want this concealer to last, and then I start patting it out. Make sure to actually pat the concealer instead of swiping it, because if you just start swiping it across your face, it might pull away at the layers that you have under, so your foundation, your under concealer, and this will make it look less cakey as well. Also, look at how cute my puff is. I got it in Korea. Now we're going to use the brighter side of this contour pencil, and I'm just going to be putting that in the very center of my nose, and I also am going to put it under my eye bags as well to kind of brighten up the area and make it look a little less sunken in. And here's a close-up of where I put this lighter pencil just so it's better to see. I just lightly pat it out on my face to do the same thing as the concealer to just brighten up these areas a bit more. Now it's time for blush. I use the shade Chili in the Say liquid blush just because I like to also layer my blush, and I put it under my nose, in the very center of my nose, on the sides of my cheeks, above my lip, below my lip, on my chin, and above my eyes as well. And the reason why I put so much blush everywhere is because it kind of blends in all the colors on your face together, so when you put eyeshadow or lipstick, it at least looks a bit more unison, I guess, without you having to pick the same colors. Now to set my face, I'm going to use the Huda Beauty Easy Bake powder in the shade Pound Cake. I hate having a really greasy and shiny face, so I'm just going to be patting that all over my under eyes, my T-zone, and kind of just taking the rest of the powder and just putting it all over my face. So after powder, I like to go all over my cream and liquid products with the powder version of them. So this is the powder contour that I'll be using today. I'm going in with this more gray shade, and I'm just going to go over where I used the stick contour earlier, which is under my jaw, on the sides of my jaw, and also around my temples and nose bridge. I find that layering these powder products over my other products actually helps it last a little longer on my face, so it doesn't feel like I put it on for no reason. And it also just helps define the angles on my face just a little more. Then I'm going to go in with the lighter shade of this contour palette to kind of brighten up the center of my face again, just like we were doing with the concealer, but now it's the powder version of that. I then go in with this slightly lighter color from this palette, and I put it under my eyes, or my eyes are sunken in a bit more to try and make it look a little less bad. Anyways, it's now on to my favorite part, which is blush. So I take this lighter blush and I put it kind of everywhere on my face as a base layer before I apply more blush in like the centers of my face. Again, I do put blush everywhere because I think it makes your face look a little more put together. But after I put on this first layer of blush, I then go in with a slightly darker color, and I put this one in the centers of my face. So in the very middle of this lighter color, I also put it in the very center of my nose, and I brush it along my eyes as well. Anyways, once my 14-step blush routine is over, I go in with an eyebrow pencil and kind of just brush out my hairs. There's not too much left, I'm gonna be honest, and I start tracing over the shape that I want for my eyebrows. I've been liking a pretty straight and a bit of a skinny eyebrow recently, so that's what I'll be doing here today. I like to draw the very back of the eyebrow first to kind of define the ending shape, and once that's done, I start drawing very, very tiny like hair-like strokes in the very front and blending it in so it looks a little more natural. And once that's over, I actually go in with this lighter eyebrow gel because I think that lighter eyebrows make my face look a little softer, a little prettier to look at, and I go over both my eyebrows. For this step, just make sure to go over the front and the backs of your hair so it doesn't look too weird. When it comes to eyeshadow, I feel like I do the same thing every time. We're gonna go in with these two lighter shades and kind of pat it all over the eye. I really like pinky brown shades, so I tend to use those pretty often. I'm also going to drag the same color under my eyes as well to prepare for the under eye makeup that I will be doing after eyeshadow. Once that's done, I'm going to go in with a slightly darker shade and put it on the outer corners of my eye to kind of create this like smoky eye look, and it's really just to add more dimensions in my eye if anything. And of course, make sure to drag this under your eye as well, as it'll help with the under eye makeup that I usually do after. And here's what it looks like up close. Now I'm going to take an angled brush and a slightly darker eyeshadow color and trace under the fat that you have under your eye. It makes your eyes look a little bigger and makes you look a little cuter. I don't know how to explain it aside from that. Then I go in with this Can Make pencil and go over what I just did in the powder, but with this pencil instead because it tends to last a little longer and kind of accentuates this under eye bag situation. I also take the same pencil and I trace this tiny triangle on the outer corners of my eye to create this bigger eye effect, and it's with this pinky color. So first I sketch out the shape that I want, and I also drag it under the bottom waterline and I fill it in as well. Here it is on one eye versus not having it on the other. It just kind of makes your eyes look bigger. Now for lashes, I use the Shiseido eyelash curler and the Clio Red mascara. Anyways, I begin by curling my upper lash, and I kind of just lightly pump the eyelash curler so that it doesn't hurt my eye and also doesn't hurt my eyelashes. And I also curl my under eyelashes as well. I completely forgot to record me putting on mascara, but this is my eyelashes with just mascara alone. For eyeliner, I actually use two eyeliners. I'm going to use this Judy doll one because it's a lot skinnier, and I'm going to be using this one to draw my under eyelashes. When I draw under eyelashes, I use it to extend my eye a little more. as you can see here. Then with a thicker eyeliner brush, I draw on my top eyeliner. I don't really know how to explain the shape, but I kind of just elongate my natural eye shape. Now to add more dimension to my eyes, I'm going to take this glittery eye pencil and put it underneath my eye where that like fatty area of your eye is. Then I'm going to be taking this highlighter and highlighting my inner corners. I'm going to be highlighting the top and the bottom of my nose, so my nose bridge and the very center of my nose as well. Then I'm going to highlight the under area of my eyebrows, and with a bigger brush, I'm going to go over my cheeks with highlight as well. And now it's time for my favorite parts, which is actually lip. As you can see, I use a lot of products for this. When it comes to outlining my lips, I kind of outline and also fill in my lips while blending it out with my fingers so the lines don't look too harsh. Then I'm going to go in with this e.l.f. water tint because it stains my lip the most, which means that no matter what I eat or drink, I'll at least have this under layer surviving by the end of the day. For my second shade, I'm going to go in this Dinto lip tint in the shade Memento Mori. It's like this blood red color, and I just go in the very centers of my lips, a little bit below the bottom of my lip. And I also go in on the very middle of my top lip. And to blend it all together, I go in with a little bit of lip gloss in the very centers of my lips. Now to end it off, make sure to set your face one more time. Ta-da! This is the finished makeup look. Yes, I do take like an hour a day to do my makeup, but I feel so pretty. And we also do not have to talk about the mess that I've left on this table. I'm just gonna pretend like it doesn't exist.
Silicone girl.